Hey everybody, it's Annette. I had something on my mind today and just wanted to sit outside and talk to you. Beautiful out. Birds are making lots of racket in the background. So soothing, right? um, we'll get into some of these conversations later, but first and first and foremost, I am a Christian. I was raised and spent over 40 years being Catholic, and then was divorced and got remarried. And I'll explain all that again in another video. That's not what this video is about. I do go someplace we've attended for 16 years, I think. We found a place my husband and I could feel at home in and belong and participate in. So this is the quandary of living in the South that I want to talk to you about. And I call it the "Are you saved?" interrogation. And anybody who's lived in the South knows what I'm talking about. So, for example, my son is getting married soon to a beautiful girl, very kind young woman. Her family, I met her family, they're great. It's just exciting to have this addition to the family. That being said, she is Indian, which is fine with me. I'm like over the moon. I was just like, I always told them when they were growing up, I said, it doesn't matter, cultural or skin tone or anything. It's, is that person a good person? Is that person a hard worker? Is that person going to be kind to you? Does that person have goals and ambitions? Because I didn't want them to end up with somebody who just squatted all the time and didn't contribute to anything, or somebody who was unfaithful or who didn't do well with money. And he's been with this young lady almost 2 years now, I believe, and she's hit everything I could have asked for in a daughter, a future daughter-in-law. And I see how my son is, and he's happy. So I know, I'm a mother. Mothers and dads, when your kids are happy. You have that feeling inside. So I'm just so excited that my youngest son is getting married. My oldest is already married. But let's talk for a minute about some of these judgy Baptists. And yes, I'm including members of my immediate family who I love and get along with. We have good rapport. But sometimes they can be a bit much as far as that part goes. We get along together at family gatherings. When mother was sick, we took turns taking care of her. There was not any of this family vulturism you see in other families where as soon as the person takes his or her last breath, the family's going in. So we do have a good family dynamic, but they are Southern Baptist. And they're good people, okay? But the thing, I guess, that just kind of, just kind of annoys me or rubs me the wrong way is that the first thing they'll jump on somebody and ask is, are you saved? That's not how I witness to people. I'll tell you all day long about my Jesus. I'll tell you about how much I love him, what he's done for me, how I invited him into my heart. And he's there with me. And I have something to look forward to. And I'm so thankful, good times and bad times, for having Jesus. I don't launch into friendships or acquaintances with, are you saved? To me, if you're trying to witness, and y'all can pitch in, tell me your thoughts on this. I may be an anomaly here. But to me, meeting people and forming connections does not start with the "Are you saved?" interrogation. To me, it starts with building those friendships, those relationships, and then as you get to know people, talking to people. I mean, unless you're a minister in a pulpit, and I'm not. I'm just a regular woman. I'm just a regular woman, and I love Jesus, and I love people. So I think that's kind of off putting. I also have noticed too, because my older son used to dress in black all the time. So imagine, if you will, being in small Southern Baptist area, going anywhere with this child who was goth at the time, dressed head to toe in black, and then get in a store and somebody, you know, I can just see it happening. People locking in on my child, like, "Oh God, you just walked in with the spawn of Satan," and then trying to, work their way to to my child and go like, "Are you saved?" It's like, you didn't ask me. Yeah, I mean, I could be like, "Hey, I can need Jesus. You didn't even ask me," because you're going by what I look like and what my child looks like. So that being said, my son's going to be sending notices to the family about the wedding, because they are doing it kind of on an obscure day when people will more than likely be unable to come. So he does want to send them a notice and just a personal message to let them know that he's getting married, and then a photograph of their engagement. And I think that's just a beautiful, sweet thing to do. My brother was cool with it. He was excited with it. Godmother was excited about it. Um, I hadn't talked to my nephew, but he'll be fine with it. And he's a pastor, but it's my sister. And I love you, sis. If you ever watch this, and you probably won't because you don't even know I'm doing this, I love my sister so much. But when I first mentioned that he was seeing somebody and was engaged to somebody, the very first thing out of her or her husband's mouth, I don't remember who asked it first. Got a little thread right here getting on my nerves. Is she saved? Like, I haven't had that conversation with her yet. I have only met her a couple times. We've only interacted a few times, on the phone and on video camera. I've met her in person twice. Once for the initial meeting, when I knew that if my son was bringing somebody over to meet me, that she had to be special. She had to be somebody very special, because he would not do that. And sure enough, he ended up asking her to marry him. So I'm like just so excited. Beautiful girl. They're going to do the Christian wedding one day, take a day off. They're all going to do this on one weekend, and then do the Indian wedding, because her relatives who don't live in America will be coming from India to celebrate. And I think it's beautiful that they are recognizing the different cultures and religions and stuff like that, because I've always brought the kids up as I worked in a university. It was a culture everywhere, and we were used to that. My son in college hung around different people. So, do I know the answer of, is she saved? No, I've not had that conversation with her yet. But I do know my son. And my son, I know the people he hangs around with, and I know the kind of people he avoids. And I trust him. And I trust the God that he believes in. So I am happy for him. I am looking forward to having her in the family. I told him last night, I said, she's my daughter. I mean, I'm getting a daughter. It's anybody who comes into the house is welcome, or or marries somebody who makes my son happy and marries him. I love her. So maybe if there's a PSA for Southern Baptist out there, is go a little easier when you're sliding into some of these conversations, because, wow, background noise. Because it's gonna land on our roof, I guess. Slide easier into some of these conversations, because if you're coming on somebody like that, you're more than likely going to put a person on the defensive. And if you don't put them on the defensive, they could lie. Anybody can say, yeah, I'm saved, just to shut you up. So have those conversations, but time it appropriately. Start telling them about yourself. Get to know one another. Bring up your faith. People will see your faith acted out in you or not. But the one question, like the salvation insurance card interrogation question, are you saved? Right up in people's faces, especially if they look a little different than we do, or of a different culture or religion, I think is off-putting. And I don't think that leads to Jesus. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Love y'all.